Doing on YouTube?
Let me check. Good question. That's a very good question. Thank you for reminding me.
I actually don't feel like that side is the difficult site. I feel like this side's the really, and we're not actually changing that, which is weird.
Yeah, but you change,
Okay, we are live on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Are you ready?
Are you ready, Deputy Mayor?
This is far more dangerous. Now I gotta follow.
Jen?
it.
All right.
Are you about ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hold
Okay,
on,
Recording in progress.
All right, welcome back to the public session of our Township Committee meeting for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I would like to invite everyone to please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First of all, I would like to thank the Chatham Township Volunteer Police, I'm sorry, let me start over, it's a long day. First of all, I want to thank the Chatham Township Volunteer Fire Department for a great party on Saturday. Despite the rain, a lot of people came out from near and far to celebrate their 100th birthday. And I really enjoyed the museum, it was really incredible, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone that was involved. It was really a wonderful celebration. I would also like to take a moment to honor Tommy Corbin. A friend and a neighbor who passed away on September 27th. He was a senior at Chatham High School and a lifelong resident of Chatham. He had a kind and gentle spirit and was generous with his time and thoughtfulness. My son was friends with Tommy and said, you weren't just a great friend, Tommy, you were an incredible human being. And I'm wearing my angel wings tonight for Tom. There will be an open house celebration of Tommy's life on Sunday, October 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. with remarks and remembrance at 1:30 at the Chatham Township Fire Department. So please keep the Gorman family in your thoughts and hearts, and in memory of Tommy, spread some kindness. Thank you. Now we will move on to the first hearing of citizens. Mr. LeConte, will you please read the guidance?
Sure. Members of the public are now welcome to come up to the microphone to address the Township Committee. This is an opportunity for any member of the public to be heard about issues which are not topics scheduled for public hearings tonight. Those present may step up to the microphone to be heard. If you're watching via Zoom, you may speak during any of the public comment sessions by following the Zoom instructions to raise your hand. Whether in person or online, when you are recognized to speak, please mind the following procedures. Please say your name, spell your last name, and give the name of your street. You do not need to give your street number. All public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Rather than use any of your time answering the questions, the Township Committee will wait until you finish speaking before responding. There are 2 public comment sessions on tonight's agenda. Each member of the public will be limited to 1 comment of up to 3 minutes during each public comment period. Written comments submitted to the Township Clerk before 3 p.m. today will be read during the public comment sessions. Written comments are subject to the same guidelines as oral comments. Duplicative written comments may be summarized rather than read in full, according to guidelines issued by the New Jersey Division of Local Government Services. We did not receive any written comments for tonight's meeting, and I do not have any attendees on Zoom.
Okay, great. Then we can close the hearing of citizens and move on to our resolutions. We have one resolution tonight, Resolution 2025-188, authorizing the rebid for snow plowing services. Mr. Shahani, would you like to give us a little bit of background on that?
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. This resolution is being asked for you to consider this evening, although it's a workshop meeting. The reason we are considering a resolution tonight is just because of the time-sensitive nature of this and not wanting to delay things any further if we don't need to, and it can be avoided. As you know, we did go out to bid for snow plowing services. We have had a third party that supplements our DPW for a number of years, supplements our DPW in the event that there are excess snowfalls that require additional help to make sure that the roads are clear and safe. Unfortunately, well, that contract has expired, and so we have to go back out to bid. We did go out to bid. Unfortunately, nobody picked up the bids, let alone even responded to the bids. So we are in a situation where we have to authorize rebid, and that's what we're planning on doing. With this, we're making even more of a concerted effort to market the bids this time, be more proactive, and consider advertising in additional papers than we've done before, in addition to talking to contractors that the county and other municipalities use to encourage them to pick up our bids and consider bidding. But in order to do so, we need to authorize a rebid.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I'm asking for a motion to, is there a motion related to resolution 2025-188 to approve?
I move to adopt resolution 2025-188.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. LaConte?
Mr. Alperowitz,
Yes.
Mrs. Ewald,
Yes.
Mr. McHugh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Rowland.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Now we will move on to our reports. Mr. Shahadi, if you want to take a seat.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Under administration, we are considering, or you will have to consider 3 resolutions at the next meeting. One of them is to authorize award for the purchase of playground equipment for Nash Field, the playground there. That's the playground that you've reviewed. We've discussed that at previous meetings, so we're hoping to have that resolution on for later this month. Any questions on that?
Remind me, so we have grant funds, does that cover 100% of?
Not 100%.
Okay.
I believe it's 80%. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's 80% match
Okay.
required. I'm sorry, 80% with a 20% match required.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And it would be coming from open space.
Okay.
No questions there. Moving forward, the resolution for authorizing RFQs for 2026 professional services. That's something we do every year around this time of year. So the RFQs will be pretty much same as they've been the last few years, unless you feel like we need to change them. Please let me know. I will include with the next packet all the basics of what those are, but those are for all of our professionals: legal, counsel, engineering, planning, financial services, bond counsel, things like that. All those professionals for the boards. We would authorize RFQ, receive them, so that way come January for reorg, you would be able to make those appointments under what's known as the fair and open process, in accordance with the state's law, public contracts law and pay-to-play laws. Any questions on those? Okay. And then resolution, hopefully for the next meeting, of updating our employee handbook. You'll have that draft, as we discussed in executive session. This is something that we do every 2 years in order to maintain compliance with our joint insurance fund requirements. It helps us ensure that we're taking advantage of a lower deductible and some other cost savings approaches, but it's also best practices. Nothing too significant is being changed in our employee handbook this time around, other than just making sure that there's updates with state and federal laws.
Thank you.
Any questions there? Colony pool survey results, I'll have those to you for the next workshop meeting. I haven't had a chance to fully digest all those survey results. We close that at the end of September. So we open it usually right when the season ends. We open up the survey and it closes at the end of the month, and we market it to the members to participate. We did get some good participation with good feedback. So I just want to review that, put that in a format that's also counts some of the feedback, the ratings, and the different categories, and along with giving you all the written comments. So that will be available for next month. And then finally, under administration is the best practices inventory. That is a survey that the state sends us every year. It changes every year. They ask us a lot of questions. Some of them are known as scored questions and some are unscored questions. The scored questions are used to evaluate if we're following the law, following best practices, and understanding how we operate from a fiscal and just sort of administrative, human resources, all those different aspects, and they base our state aid on that. So if we've got enough yeses and the right number of yeses that they require, then we get 100% of our funding. If not, they can dock you on it. And then the unscored portion gives you an idea of what will be scored in the coming years. So they, I kind of always tell people, we should do these things because they will come back later on and say, okay, we gave you a heads up, start implementing them. That's their way of tipping their hat on what's gonna be next. But we are well above the minimum for 100% funding, so we're good there. The one thing in the best practice inventory I'll point out for you is that the state of New Jersey adopted a lead law. Colloquially, it's the lead law, but it's to ensure that municipalities are taking proactive efforts to make sure that properties built before a certain year are being inspected, and those results, those inspections are being reported to the state through a portal. So in the coming months, I'll be providing you guys with a proposal on how to handle that, because we do have some homes that meet that criteria, built before a certain time frame, and do need to have inspections. Exploring what our options are. We've looked at over, since the law was implemented and they gave us a grace period and kind of all these things, looked at other ways. Some towns have in-house staff that do it. It might be somebody in the construction office, might be somebody in their land development or engineering or even their health department. Fortunately, we don't have the resources to do that, and so what they did, a lot of towns didn't either, or the expertise, to do all these inspections and connect to their portal and do the reporting. So they amended the law to allow for towns to retain a third party to do this for you as well. So that's what we're looking at, and I'll have some more information for you guys on that in the coming months to consider that option.
So that lead inspection for whatever the age of the homes are, it's not an option.
We have to notify them that essentially it's your home meets this requirement, it's before this age, there's a likelihood that lead-based paint was used. We're required to do an inspection. We would send them out a notification. We would do the inspection. They would be paying for these, though. We would have to, as part of this process, we have to introduce an ordinance that creates this mechanism, because it's the notification, the inspection, there's administrative fees, there's the inspection fees. So
remediation fee.
Well, and then they have to do the remediation as well. So we don't do the remediation, but we let them know, based off of mostly it would be visual, but there are some cases where they may need to do more than just visual. But we do the inspection and advise them, okay, you have to remediate it, but that. After that point, we've done our part.
Yes.
And it goes on file that this home has or does not have paint, and if they've remediated it, then we also have to, under environmental laws, that gets noted as well.
Sorry, I was looking at the list and I was expecting animal control, so I didn't quite catch the beginning. What's pushing this lead? Is it a state?
State law. State law. It's an effort because there's a lot of lead-based paint, and it's an effort to, in New Jersey, and nationwide, but because of the age of our homes, and so they want to make sure that lead-based paint is being remediated in older homes. And there's people that, may be based off of their income levels, don't have, you buy a property, there's lead-based paint disclosures in there, but, people just don't do anything about it. And they, okay, great, I got the paper, and then that's it, and they don't follow up. And so there's a push in New Jersey to make sure that there's more lead-based paint education and awareness and detection in cases where it might exist, so people can then remediate and stop stop lead-based paint from continuing to be sold in homes.
So I
It's still
assume
going
that's-
to depend upon property owner
Right.
participation.
That's okay, cause that's the next question.
Yeah,
So
no forced
when it goes-
compliance by the
No
state.
forced compliance, but then when they go to sell,
Right, there's the forced compliance there.
That would,
Yeah, because at that point, now
There's
you know.
disclosure, yeah.
Now you know that there's lead-based paint.
yeah. Okay. So if you have a knockdown house and you decide to let it go, cause the developer's not gonna care, cause it's a knockdown house. Okay. Got it.
So that's coming on the horizon, but that's one of the a number of questions they asked in this survey was about that as well. So any questions on the inventory? It is a requirement that we discuss it with you, that we bring it to your attention, so you know what we're submitting to the state, because they don't want governing bodies not knowing what the know, the staff has submitted, on it, but we're, you know, we're in good shape. Anything else there? All right, moving on, under the clerk, we will have hopefully a resolution on animal control, probably not this year, probably, January, right, Greg?
That's usually something we do with the reorg.
Yeah, but, the animal control contract, is expiring at the end of this year, so, Greg has been, requesting quotes and doing his due diligence, and we've been exploring that, just to make sure that we can have a good recommendation for you coming up. Any questions on that?
Is that an annual contract or a multi-year?
No, it can be annual, but we're in a multi-year contract, 2 years, right, Greg?
Yes, for the current term, we did a 2-year contract. The vendor was willing to maintain the pricing that they had from the prior term.
And then, we got the report from the clerk, and he has an item on polling place relocation. If you'd like to speak.
Yes, with that, for the edification of the public as well, all the current candidates have been informed of this. A few weeks ago, I was contacted by Corpus Christi. They're having an upcoming roofing project, and they were unsure whether or not that would be finished in time for the November general election. So at that point, I contacted the superintendent of elections office to inquire about the potential of moving those 2 districts, and just to be play it safe and be ultra conservative, we decided to go ahead and move those 2 districts from Corpus Christi. It's districts 3 and 5. We're gonna move those 2 districts over to Long Hill Chapel, which already serves as a polling place. There's plenty of space there for the 4 districts to be in one spot, and plenty of parking for voters. I'll make sure that we get a postcard out to the affected voters. Their sample ballots will have that information when they receive it. We'll put up signage, and I'll make sure we get that on the website, and whatever means we have to get word out. And as I said, I informed the candidates, so that way when they're out campaigning, they can help in that process as well. Any questions on that?
Will there be signage at Corpus Christi to redirect?
Yes, I'll make sure that we have a sign, so that way anyone that doesn't read their sample ballot or get word by other means, that way there will be something to let them know where to go.
You could just move it to the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, right across the street.
We need to make sure that we're using a spot that's ADA compliant, and since Long Hill Chapel already serves as a polling place, it's easier to do it there. Yes, the Department of Justice has been cracking down on New Jersey counties to make sure that polling places comply with ADA standards. Which, whether or not the Presbyterian Church would be compliant, I don't know, but we know that Long Hill Chapel can serve as a polling place, so it's, since it's somewhere that we know we can do voting, it was, simplest to just move it there.
Okay, just convenient for voters to be in their neighborhood, that's right.
Yeah, but I think there's stairs in the Presbyterian Church, or they go down below, or, no, they have a ramp. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Construction, any questions on the report? No action items there. Okay. Engineering, only action item is an ordinance, and this is to amend an ordinance that I believe we adopted earlier this year. If you recall, it was on flood damage prevention. It had to do with FEMA maps and all this stuff. Even though we had sent it to the state for their review beforehand, because they feed us really the data, and they told us it was all good, and they gave us the data, they just came back to us and said, oh, by the way, we missed something, and we need you to include this this parcel and plan number and all this stuff. So it's really just a technicality, nothing too substantive there, but we have to go through a new ordinance.
It's literally just adding one more reference to one of our tables.
Yeah. Any questions on that? Okay, and any questions on the report? Okay, finance? No, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, I do wanna go back a second.
Yeah.
Construction, sorry, the revenue, and I didn't, it's not really a question, but the revenues were looking pretty good for this early in the year, and I guess we're gonna probably end ahead of where,
This late in the year or early in the
or
year?
early relative to where it is, yeah.
Okay,
No, cause we're way ahead of last year, right?
yes.
Yeah,
It's been a very busy year in that office, yeah.
okay. Good.
Yep. Finance, no action items there. Any questions on the report? Okay. And, you know, if you look at the report in detail, especially on the, expenditure side and the revenue side, we are in good shape. We're doing well. Again, a testament to the great work of the department heads and our finance department, but also the finance committee in preparing a very good budget every year. I think we've been doing very well, so.
Great.
The other item is more so just a discussion, not even really a discussion, but for your awareness, we had a band sale. We are required by law to notify and have that on the agenda. So Debbie did prepare a memo for you guys on that. One of the questions, kind of going back to the best practices, one of the questions we answered no was relating to things like this. It was, you know, do you always prepare what's known as a statement, an official statement on some of these things? And this was a case in which we did not. The reason being, it would have cost us more to prepare the official statement than the potential savings that we would have derived from the benefit of marketing. Sometimes when you do an official statement, you could market it and get different bidders that will tend to give you a better rate, but the cost for us to prepare a financial statement for such a low amount would have negated any savings. So that's one reason why in the best practice checklist we answered no, is for something like this, but we got great rates regardless. Police, we will have a resolution for your consideration to purchase some cameras and networking hardware for the fiber optic loop. That would be coming out of the grant funds. This was envisioned as part of the project. Just the bulk of it was the wiring. The wiring is now done, and now we have the cameras that we can purchase and the additional networking hardware that's needed to connect them all and get the system up and running. And we do have to get this done by the end of the year, because that's when the grant expires. They're not giving us any more extensions. Hopefully we won't have an issue with the shutdown, but that's another story. Any questions on that? Okay. Any discussion or action items on the report?
Sorry, when you say hopefully we won't have problems with the shutdown,
Government shutdown.
I was thinking for this little amount of money, we're not talking about that entire,
No, just with processing things and the, you know, paperwork and requests for reimbursements, but no, we shouldn't.
okay.
Just everything's slowing down, and you just hear over and over about how many different things are just being slowed down and how many things are being delayed for, you know, processing or even response. Public Works, 2 resolutions, those were included in the report. I think we did talk about them once before, but we'll have those on the agenda for the next meeting for your consideration. That's to authorize this vendor to rebuild 2 pumps and replace a pump. Those were all under the capital budget for WPC, and now moving ahead to actually acquire and authorize that agreement. Any questions on those? Or report?
Why are we rebuilding 2 and replacing 1? Is it, what is being rebuilt and what is being?
I can get you some information on
No,
that.
that's fine.
Off the top of my head, I
It's a
don't wanna.
curiosity because of the numbers, you know, is it worth rebuilding or getting a new one?
I think it may have to do with the age. I think
Yes,
the one that
yes.
we're replacing has been
Is that
built
old?
before, and it's that old and it's at end
Okay.
of life. I know I went over this when I did the capital budget
Yeah.
with them, and
Yes.
I don't want to give you bad information
That's
on
fine.
record, but I believe that was the reason. One was just too old.
Yep. Okay.
And tax collector and tax assessor, no action items, just reports. Any questions there? Okay. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Shahadi. We will now move to the second hearing of citizens. Same rules apply as the first hearing. Is there anyone online?
We do not have any Zoom attendees.
No one in the audience, so we will close the second hearing of citizens. And if there's nothing else, we get a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, second.
Okay. All right, thank you, everyone.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's the official, Greg.
All right.
He's a stickler.
Recording stopped.